And she screamed. Okay, we're all right in a minute. I'll go away soon. And she screamed, ah! Like that, okay? Because there lay the missing bride in her wedding dress. But inside that dress, she was just a skeleton. So, you know, if you like scary stories too, there are always things that you can find to read. Now, we have, by my watch, about 6 minutes left. I hope that's right. Teachers will tell me if I'm wrong. Because I thought maybe to finish, since I've told you a couple of scary stories, that maybe we should finish with a more funny story. I've got my towel here, look. Okay? You always got to have your towel with you. It's a tough universe. You need to make sure where your towel is. There was a chicken. I don't know why I'm doing this, because you probably know what a chicken is, don't you? Anyway, okay. There was a chicken, okay? And the chicken's best friend was the tortoise. You know, with the shell. You may think this is a bit odd, chicken, tortoise, tortoise, chicken, but they got on really well. They were big friends, you know. Trouble was, the chicken was always running around really fast. And the chicken would say to the tortoise, right, watch this, okay, watch. From here, other side of the farmyard, 3 seconds. And then he would say, right, back again, look, 3 seconds. And he would say to the tortoise, you know, you're a good friend, you're a good mate, but you're ever so slow, aren't you? Why are you so slow? And the tortoise used to say, well, I don't know, you know, it's just the way I'm made. You know, I'm a slow animal. Well, said the chicken, if you could go a bit faster, we could run around together, and we could do stuff. Here, come on, look, I'll help you get faster. So the chicken took the tortoise to the main road. There are cars going, you know, and buses going, and big trucks going, Chicken says to the tortoise, right, watch this. From here, other side of the road, 2 seconds. And he made it. I don't know how, but he made it. Right, back again, 2 seconds. And he made it. Right, says the chicken, you try. Oh, said the tortoise, I'm sorry, I wasn't looking, I was looking at that bus. Can you do it again? I missed it. Just one more time, said the chicken, okay? 2 seconds. Halfway across the road, big truck. The chicken has been squashed. This is the chicken. Look, it's flat. Look, it's a towel, guys, okay? It's only a towel. The chicken, look, I'll put it here. And look, is that better? Okay, now, this is the chicken. It's been squashed flat. Now, the tortoise is not very bright. You know, he hasn't been to your school. He's not very clever. He says, oh, he doesn't look very well. He looks a bit poorly. Perhaps I should take him to the doctors. Or maybe the vet, you know, looks after animals. So he waits until the traffic has died down, you know, and then looking carefully, like you would, he goes into the road. Now, he can't take the chicken to the vets like that. He's got to roll him up first. Have you never rolled up a chicken? Your time will come. Look, the thing is, when he's rolled up the chicken, like this, okay, then he can get him over his shell. His tortoise shell, you see, it makes sense, doesn't it? Well, as much as anything today. And he takes him to the vet. This bit takes about 9 hours. Because he's a tortoise. We could cut this bit out, do you think? No? 9 hours, okay. Anyway, he gets to the vet. And he says, this is my friend, the chicken. I don't think he's very well. Now the vet, between you and me, the vet is trying to stop laughing. And the vet says, well, he says, I'm sorry, but there's not much we can do for them, you know, when they get to this stage. Oh, can't you do anything at all, says the tortoise? Because you're really good with animals, you. I've seen you in the farmyard with your arm up cows. Because they do that, vets. Put their arms up cows. It's a nice job if you're cold. Warms your arm. Well, says the vet, I don't think we can do anything. I'll have a go. I'll see if I can do a bit of manipulation with my hands. Hang on. Is that the chicken now? No, said the tortoise, that's not the chicken. Well, I'll try again, says the vet. I don't think this will work. It's good, isn't it? Can you hear the tendons pinging? The ligaments twanging? Sorry, Caroline. You'll wake up in the middle of the night screaming about this story. Is that the chicken now? No, said the tortoise, that's not the chicken. If I saw him, I would recognise him, but that's not the chicken. Well, I don't know what more I can do, said the vet. I've tried all I can. Is that the chicken now? Yes! That's him! That's him, that's the chicken! Well, take him away, said the vet, and don't go crossing any more roads. That's probably the moral of that story. Don't cross roads. I feel that my time, because we only have a short time, but maybe in that short time, if I've just thrown a switch in your head to make you realise that there's a lot of fun in stories, there's a lot of scariness in stories. You know, you never know, do you, when you open a book? You never know what's going to happen. You might open a book and you might go, you might open a book and you might go, you might open a book and you might just go, So keep opening books, won't you? And have a lot of fun with stories and books. Thanks ever so much for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you boys for listening so attentively to Alec. I hope that you enjoyed the storytelling experience. Did you? Yes. What was your favourite story? The chicken, I thought so. I don't know how he does that, but maybe you can work it out yourselves. You can try it at home. The reason we're here today is to launch the start of a new program for your school called the Cutter Boys Book Challenge. And it's a reading program which Alec demonstrated reading 2 stories there very nicely for you. And one of those stories is in the collection of books that you will receive. The idea is that we will give your school a collection of books for 1 month only. And in the 1 month, we're going to challenge you to try and read 6 books from our collection. Does that sound easy or difficult? Easy. Well, if you think it's easy, the record from last year, we had one school where one boy read 31 books in the 1 month. Yes? That's okay. You can fit it in as well. We'll work it out. So, it was Al Ahnaf school. One boy read 31 books, and in Ali bin Abi Talib school, one boy read 16 books in 1 month. So the competition is on internally in your school and also in competition with the other schools. As Alex showed you, the books are quite short, but they vary inside. Sometimes the print is quite big, so you don't have so many words in the book. In other books it can be quite dense. Now, we want you to choose the books that you're interested in. We've put no levels on the books. So you need to look at the book. From the title, is it interesting? A dinosaur ate my socks? I don't know, sounds a bit strange. So do you want to read this book? No. Do you want to choose another book? Do you want to choose Kill Swap? No. Or Shark or Alien? It's up to you to choose which books you want. You'll all be given a reading passport. And in that passport, you need to record a passport to show you have read the book, and you will receive a small gift. For example, maybe a ball. The final prize is a clock man who you can bend into different shapes and things like that if you want. So that's your final prize for the 6 books. Also, because we know that you're boys and you love competing, we have some posters that will be in your classrooms or in the library. You can put your picture or your name, and as you read the books, you can move along the posters to get up to the gold poster. So if you notice your friends only read 1 book, you can go, you've only read 1 book, I've read 5. So we'll have these in your classrooms as well. So, does it sound easy or difficult?
Easy.
Good. Well, I look forward to hearing about all of you completing the challenge in the 1 month. It means I'll have no clockmen left at the British Council, and we'll have to buy more clockmen for the other schools. So, this will be available in your school. We'll talk to your teachers about the dates exactly that you can participate. The challenge is sponsored by HSBC, very generously, and they're very keen to hear about your progress with the reading, with the books, any feedback you might have about the project, and also maybe one day you'll work for HSBC, who knows? They are looking for well-read, well-educated young countrymen to work with them in the future. Whether it's you or your brothers or your sisters, who knows? But a wonderful opportunity for you to start learning now for your future careers and your exams. Reading helps all your subjects, so please do read as much as possible. I don't know how many books Alec reads a week, probably about 5.
5 million.
Okay. So if you want to compete with Alec, you can. And see if you can reach 5 million. If not, we're settling for 6 books in a month. If you want to read more than 6, please do. The books are really interesting. You heard one at the beginning about
The snake bite.
the snake bite. That's in the collection. And the one with the lady with the spiders in her brain, unfortunately, is not in the collection. So sorry if you wanted to read that one. The aftershave one is in the collection.
Get the girl aftershave.
We might remove it. We don't want to. We're not sure. So that is in the collection. So boys, it's really over to you to enjoy and make as much use of this project as possible. And tell your teachers, ask your teachers which book they've read, which one they recommend. Get them to read with you as well. Any questions about the challenge?
Do you think your teachers would enjoy the books as well?
No.
No. Why not?
You're going to say yes. Let's try that again. Do you think your teachers would enjoy the books as well? No. Yes.
No, they're still saying no.
One more time. Do you think your teachers would enjoy the books as well?
No.
Okay, let me ask why are you saying no? Why do you think the teachers won't like these books?
We're hypocrites.
They're hypocrites or you're hypocrites? You're hypocrites. You're cynical, I think is the word you're looking for. But the books actually have been written for teenage boys. So probably your teachers won't find them as interesting as you do.
On the other hand, you know, because I'm about 120 years old, I'm glad you laughed because some people don't. They're obviously thinking that looks about right. But inside that 120-year-old, there's a 100-year-old and a 90-year-old and an 80-year-old, and there's still a boy in there. And I was hoping you said yes, because these two were in my suitcase when I came. But I got a problem, because when I fly to my next place, I'm going to get charged excess baggage. So I was going to give those to your teachers. So do you think if I do, they might start to like them?
Yeah.
There you go. There's a present from me.
You have no questions about the reading program. Do you have any questions? Or you? That's what we'll discuss with your teachers, and they'll tell you which date it is starting and which date it will end. At the end, we'll come back. You'll all receive certificates, and for any outstanding readers, there will also be a separate prize as well.
The book of challenge you will ask about the character of the
in the reading passport, you can. Your school might add into it. At the moment, we've kept it very simple. We just asked you to write what was the book about, and whether you liked it or not. If not, why not? It was boring, I didn't like the main character, and to give it a star rating out of 5. So please, if you do like a book, tell your friends, okay, this one's good, read this one, or no, that one's rubbish, forget that one. Help each other as well. Share the books you like, I'm sure you know what your friends are like. But maybe we'll do more work in Ali bin Abi Talib. They dramatized one of the books, I think it was Shark. They made it into a play. In one of the other schools, they created a whole project around one book, so it's really up to you what you want to do with the books. Any more questions for me? Any questions for Alec? Before he goes, he's leaving to go to Egypt actually tomorrow, the next day.
My favourite book. It is really difficult to answer because I do read quite a few books, and my favourite one is always the last one, if I like a book, and I forget the other ones, you see. What have I just finished reading? I've just finished reading a book called Tunnels, which is about an imaginary world underground underneath the city of London. And the thing about many books is there are quite a lot of sequels, you know, that continue the story. And what I thought was just one book, because it's a few years old, there are now 7 books in that series about the imaginary land underground. So I can't wait to read some of the other ones. I read all sorts of stuff. I read books of facts, books of non-fiction, you know, about different subjects. I read biographies, you know, stories of people's lives. All this is reading, and it's all good for you to do. No more questions? Like, when did time begin, or where does space end?
He's not really 120, so no questions that hurt.
Why am I so handsome? Are there, you know, questions like that?
How old are you?
No?
How old are you?
Yeah.
Do you have an official page, official website, or a Facebook page, or anything we could just read your stories at?
Well, remember, they're not my stories. I haven't written them, but I'm a bit embarrassed because I'm in the middle of doing a website. I have all it is what you might call a place marker. If you look at Alec Williams like this, you won't see much, I'm afraid, because at the moment there is just one page. But from that page, you will be able to click on an email address. I can't cope with all of you emailing me, but if you've got a really important question, you know, click on that and send me an email and I'll do my best to answer it.
The other thing for those of you that want to read stories or articles, we've got the British Council Learn English website.
Yep.
There are a range of different articles, whether it's about science, about arts. We've also got there are some short stories there as well. So you've got podcasts you can download and listen to if you want to practice your listening. So a lot there on our website as well. Any more questions for Alex? Yeah, there's a hand up here.
Yeah. What I'll do, alright, look, I'll make a deal with you, okay? If between you could help to remind your teachers to email Cameron here, then I will email you some instructions for how to do the chicken story. I have to ask you to remind me because I have a head like a sieve with lots of holes in, and I'll forget because tomorrow will be Egypt. Must be a very exciting lesson that we're missing. Ah! Are they all like that here? Wow. But if you remember, or click on here, and when you get it, you know, you can maybe copy it to some of your friends. I will send you some instructions for how to do the chicken story, and then you can amaze your friends.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Do you have any experience with books that become movies?
Books that become movies. Well, on my laptop, when I'm running training, because I train in all sorts of subjects, and on the desktop of my laptop, I usually have an image taken from a movie based on a book, because most movies are based on books. So I've got, what have I got at the moment? I've got Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. I've got one on a story called sorry. I've forgotten the name of it, sorry. I've got 1 or 2 movies on my desktop. And yeah, watch out for that, because a lot of movies are based on books. And I think the best way, when you know that a movie's coming out, is to read the book first. Because then you can go and see the film with the words in your head. Makes it even better. Yeah?
I think to add, sorry, just quickly,
Sorry.
to add to Alec, most of the popular movies that you watch or have watched come from books. Obviously, Harry Potter is the biggest one to think of, Lord of the Rings, the Bourne series,
The
Jason
Hobbit.
Bourne,
Yeah.
all of those, they were all books before. And it's like, people say to me, why do you like reading? It takes so long. But it's like a movie, I want to get to the end, I want to know what happens. So it is interesting to go back, if you've seen the movie, read the book, compare it, which do you prefer? In some cases, I think the book is much better, to be honest.
One reason I like the book better sometimes is because you're in that world for even longer. A movie, 90 minutes and it's gone. But if you're reading the story of, say, The Hobbit, then you can be in that story for maybe a week as you read it. So you're actually with the characters for an even longer time. I sometimes say to lads, you know, you can go see a movie, you can go and see Brad Pitt or Tom Cruise having the adventure, or you can stay and read a book and have the adventure happen to you. Because when you read a book, you're in the driving seat, okay? So, take The Hobbit as an example. Get into the reading Hobbit. That's a sort of joke there. Sort of Hobbit habit, okay? Habit, Hobbit. Get into it. Oh, never mind.
Last question.
Yeah.
Have you read the Quran?
I haven't read the Quran, I must confess. I've read little bits of it, but I haven't read the whole thing. I will be interested in reading it someday. Do you think I should read the Quran?
Yeah.
Of course, that's the right answer this time, I think. Okay, now you've recommended a book to me, so I shall go off and look for it when I get back. Thank you.
Last question, do we have?
Another last question. Right. Hi.
Who's the best writer?
Oh, that's impossible to say, really. There's so many writers I like. For young people, Philip Pullman. I'm a big fan of Philip Pullman's books. Northern Lights, there's a whole set of those stories. But there are so many that I enjoy. And I used to read books to my son. My son, who is now 33, you know, I used to be a librarian, okay? I used to work in a library. So it was natural for me to read stories to my son when he was born. Poor kid, he never stood a chance, you know. From when he was like this, he had stories read to him. Because my wife was a librarian as well. So poor kid, you know, stories all the time. Shutting him up was the problem, you know. But hey, what happened to him was, he got into debating. I mentioned this because your teacher was telling me before that your school has got debating, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes, wake up, okay.
Yeah.
Now my son, he got into debating and he got onto the England team for the World Debating Championships. Do you know where he went to? When he went to the final was in Bermuda. Off he went on a plane. He was 16 to Bermuda debating. But books and stories and reading for pleasure, one of the things they give you is that confidence in speaking. And in a few years, if you're in an interview for something like HSBC or any other company, and there's 3 of you, maybe, and the last 3 that they have to choose from, the one of you that's a bit more confident in speaking, job could go to you. That's another reason why reading is a great thing to do. Thanks so much.
Alec will be at the National Day Village in Al Sadd tomorrow night from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock, and we'll be doing storytelling there, exactly that one. And also at the book fair tomorrow and Thursday morning as well. So if any of you want to go along as well, or if you have younger brothers and sisters, please do join us. I wish you luck with the Cutter Boys Book Challenge. I'm sure you can beat Alec Williams.
Yeah, come on, you can.
And I look forward to hearing from you more about that. Before we leave, we'd like to do a group photo with Alec if you want. If you'd like to all come up, we'll do a photo for your school. Where to?